Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 33 of What If Naruto Was the Otsutsuki King. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto got his memories sealed away over on Anime King 2. I also post a new episode of What If Naruto learned the clone secret in the beginning, so go ahead and enjoy it as well. I also post a new episode of What If Naruto was given a second chance on this channel, so go ahead and enjoy it as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Let's begin the intro. So the last time we left off, Naruto was surrounded by 50 Otsutsukis, all of them changing into a state past their Byakugan, all of them ready to chow down on him, as Dizak told him to tear him to shreds. As they came in, Naruto started to defend himself and face off against them gruesomely. Despite his new power, the numbers were great, and they were advanced. They were not like any simple shinobis, as their power was great, but Naruto was still fending off against them, until they started grabbing him with chains as they pulled him into the ground, breaking the ground underneath him as a chain wrapped around his stomach, holding him down tight. As he started to get assaulted from every angle, Momoshiki was standing behind Dizak, as Dizak was sitting on a throne, along with King Shiki behind Momoshiki, just watching the entire proceedings, as Momoshiki could see it. Despite everything, Naruto wasn't getting that badly hurt. It was then that Naruto exploded in rage, as he started to remove heads, arms, throats, and hearts, ripping them to shreds. None of them stood up against him, as he started to completely annihilate the entire force, until the entire place was covered in red, pure blood. As Dizak then got out of his chair, telling Momoshiki to stand back because the state his brother is in now, he would tear him to shreds. As the battle began between the two of them, as Naruto was, for the first time in his life, surprised, as Dizak punched him, it knocked the wind out of him. Dizak then started to beat the absolute crap out of Naruto. Naruto tried to fight back at first, but Dizak was just too much. The Anvus arrived, Uchiha, Yamato, and another Anvu, as Dizak threw Naruto's body over there with a crash. As Naruto wondered what the hell they're doing here, as he looked at Uchiha telling her to run. But Dizak crashed into Naruto's face. Dizak was about to hurt her, but Naruto went mad, as he went into a rage, knocking away Dizak, releasing everything that he got. He raged upon Dizak, as the explosion was massive. The squad of Anvus went back to Konoha, as he had to outrun the blast, the explosion, the tremors. Mito was angry as she wanted to go and do something, but Sasuke held onto her tight, knowing that if she go out there she would just be in his way, as he reminded her of what happened last time. She calmed down after remembering that, as she didn't want to get in her brother's way, but they have to do something. As Natty was biting her nails, she did not know what to do, either did Jiraiya. Meanwhile, Dizak was completely annihilating her, even slicing off Naruto's arm. He was not making Naruto regenerate his arm, as he beat Naruto to a pulp. As he looked down at Naruto, he just had a few scratches on his body. Nothing too bad, as he simply smiled. His brother really disappointed him. It was then that he wondered, why was his brother being broken? He was a man known to broke people, that is why they call him Dizak the Will Breaker. But his brother was still looking at him with those defiant eyes, as he dived into Naruto's mind. But then, Naruto pushed him out, but Dizak already get the information. Out of nowhere, something crashed into the village as everyone was stirring. Mito and Ino rushed out there as they saw it was Naruto, in a wicked shape, blood leaking from him as Dizak came down, introduced himself as Naruto's brother, as he grabbed both Ino and Mito, but Naruto break their hold on them, taking the attack for the both of them, bleeding even more. Dizak simply smirked as he told him what will he do when he destroys everything. The man sent a pulse straight down into Earth core and cut the core in half. But Naruto dived down there knowing that if the Earth exploded, they all would die. As his body was being burned, his skin turning black, Naruto pulled the core back together and sealed it. As he was blasted by the force out of the ground, Dizak was impressed of Naruto's sheer will and his just ability to go on. So he decided to do something that he never thought he would do. He was going to take him with him. As Mito and the others could do nothing but call out Naruto's name as they watched him get taken away, completely helpless to stop what was going on. Some time passed as Dizak was talking to someone. There was a woman beside him, as the woman told him that there was no information on who helped him. It seems like somehow Naruto cleared away his memory of who the traitors are. But Dizak told her it didn't matter, it was all done now, because once he's finished with him, Naruto the Destroyer. That was a fitting name. So yeah guys, that was basically where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? We begin this episode with 3 stone shinobis. They were running through a forest. As one of them looked behind them, "She's gaining on us," one of them said. "Damn it," the other one cursed. As behind them was a woman. She was wearing an Onvu mask. As she was moving at incredible speed to catch up with them, the stone shinobis were trying to get the hell out of there. One of them looked at the 2 others. "I'll hold her off, you guys go." As the other 2 nodded as he stopped, he ran through hand sign, Earth style. "Earth shaker," he says. He slammed his hand on the ground as the earth started to shake. He smirked as he saw the girl lost her balance. As he dashed towards her pulling a kunai, as he stabbed right into her. But she replaced herself with a log. The man's eyes went wide before a sword planted on his throat. He didn't even get time to speak as the sword teared right through his throat, as his body collapsed on the ground. As the girl flashed away, moving through the forest, she was moving as fast as possible. As the 2 other stone shinobis were looking around, when they had to stop, as they heard something in front of them. But the other one pushed his friend out of the way when a kunai dropped with an explosive attack and blew up the center, as he jumped away himself. But the moment he landed, he had to spin around and block the sword swipe. Don't think you're so tough. You're out here by yourself. Hey, come on, let's just kill her. As his other friend came over, but the moment he stepped forward, a sword teared right through his back. The man's eyes went wide as he coughed up blood before collapsing. The first one looked over at the girl to see that she melted into mud. He dashed forward and clashed blades with her kunai, as she was just flexible as she slipped around his attack before driving her feet right into his throat, knocking him back as he gasped for air. As he collapsed on the ground, raising his hand for mercy as he begged. She didn't even glance him a second look as she drive the sword right through his heart, killing him in an instant. She pulled out her blade. She looked on her hand as she unsealed a bottle. There was water in that she poured on her blade, washing off the blood, as she flashed it off and sheathed her blade. The moment she did that, 3 more Onvus landed behind her. As the Onvus looked around, "You know we could have captured them and get information, right?" one of them said. "They were in our borders. They deserve to die," the girl said at the front. As her blonde hair was tied up in a ponytail, she looked back. "What now, Nico?" she asked. "Well, the threat has been eliminated," said Nico, as she looked at the girl in front of her. The other 2 Onvus were Yamato and Hawk. "Let's continue the scout. We will go scout the east side. And you 2, deal with the body and then scout the west side." The girl then went off as she gathered the bodies before burning them with a fire jutsu. As Yujeo, wearing her Nico mask, looked over. "What is it?" the girl asked, as she looked at Yujeo. "Nothing," said Yujeo. "Let's go then." As Yujeo hopped behind the girl, looking in front of her, that girl was none other than one Ino Yamanaka. Ever since Naruto was taken and presumed dead, things have changed a lot for the entire world now. Yes, the village especially. It had hit Ino hard. Her father was also out of commission. After he went into that mine, it crippled the man in more ways than once. He was unable to use his chakra at all. It seems like whatever this had did to him just burned away his chakra completely when this had fried him inside his mind. He went into a coma for 2 months after that. and the entire family had a hard time with that. But he came out of it. But the man was broken that he couldn't even be a ninja anymore. But at least, her mother was there for him, able to hold him up and make sure that at least he's not a ninja anymore. He is still a father. But Ino has changed completely, as she requested to join Envu. Her emotions were bothering her, as she couldn't sleep, she couldn't eat, she couldn't think. The only thought her mind was on was him. But she needed to block that out if she was going to continue to live her life. So under the guidance of Nico Yujeo, she was trained to be an Envu for 2 months, as she took everything seriously. And now, she's a perfect trained assassin, the perfect killer, as the girl has trained and become strong over the years. As Nico just watched her jump on ahead before she came to a stop, as they started to scout the border. Things wasn't much better for the village and Mito. Meanwhile at Konoha, the village was still repairing after the attack from Pain. As we skip to one Uzumaki mansion towards one of the bedrooms, as Sasuke was just lying there, looking up at the ceiling. He wasn't really moving, his eyes were open though, as he wasn't saying anything. He then heard movements to his left as he turned. Mito was there, putting on her clothes. As she put on her pants, putting on her shirt, she looked back at Sasuke. What? She said. Nothing, he said. Then why are you looking at me with those eyes? What are you talking about? He asked. It's the same look that you give me every time. Sasuke, if you keep on looking at me like that, this is the thing that we have going on. I'm gonna be calling it a quits. As Sasuke looked at her and didn't say anything. The sex was good, she said. But that is just it, sex. So when you're done, you can let yourself out, she said. As she exited the room, Sasuke lay there. As he just looked up in the ceiling, a lot has happened. It has been 1 year exactly since everything happened with Naruto. 1 year since his death was presumed. He has been beaten so badly at that point and been taken away. None of them thought that he actually survived. Or whatever happened, did that bring him somewhere else to kill him? And that really changed a lot of things. Mito was broken. Sasuke tried his best to console her. He tried his best to beat her, and her friends tried their best as well. But it was just hard. Even Fu had changed. She mostly spent her time with Shino, as the little family that they once had was just separating. Well, they did talk, but it wasn't on a daily basis. And it was hard for them to sit in one room and just talk, like normal. Naruto not being here just changed everything so bad. As everything was good at first, but now, it was hard for all of them to sit down and have dinner. For Mito to be cheerful and just cook for all of them. Even the fun-loving Fu had become kind of cold. Facing off against ninjas, which she brutally killed these days. Seeing that they have a problem with hidden sound. After Naruto's disappearance, after things were going down a slump, Jiraiya had found the location. It took a while, but he found the location of the Akatsuki. As he talked to Snavy. Snavy didn't want him to go alone, but he told her it was the best way. And he headed off on his own. And sometime after that, they received the news that he was killed. Yet again, something that broke Mito to the letter. That just shaked her right there. As Sasuke also knew about Ino and her father, the entire situation that hurt her as well. But Mito got it worse. Her brother and then her sensei. She was angry, she was livid, as she blamed Snavy, even cursed at her. As Snavy was saddened by that truth, that she should have forced Jiraiya to take someone with him. As the group had to calm Mito down, but she was just too angry. She was angry at everything, everyone, the entire world. She was taken by the toads because she wanted to kill Pain. As she went and learned Sage Mode, Pain came to the village, but that was the wrong decision for him to ever make. With the combined force of Sasuke here, his brother's eyes were implanted by Snavy into him, giving him the eternal Monkey to Sharingan. He was able to hold off against Pain. But find note that Mito wasn't here. Pain blew the village to hell. But Sasuke and a few of the others, they did survive. Along with Fu was there as well. Mito came back to the village. And when she did in her Sage mode, and Sasuke with his Mangekyo Sharingan, Pain was nothing compared to the three of them. As the three of them took him on, things escalated to the point where Fu got stabbed right through the chest. As that was a breaking point of Mito as she exploded into rage. Sasuke had to jump away from the entire scene into Fu's body, as Mito went straight into the Six Tails. She was getting so angry and angrier, as there was just pure havoc and wreck. Everyone had to get away from the situation. As Pain ended up sealing her, but she broke through the seal in the sky. It was there that she met her father, that she told them. She talked to her father, and she was sad, angry. She cried, and he held her as she cried. But she cried and relieved all that pain. But it still wasn't enough. But he told her that no matter what, she can still turn things around. And he will always love her no matter what. As he was sad to hear what happened to Naruto. But he told her to strive on. After that, that was the only reason why she did not kill the original Pain. As the three of them went to find him after Mito discovered his location, with Konan there protecting him. But the three of them combined could have completely eradicated him. As Fu had healed up from the attack by not being inside of her. It was then that Mito talked to Pain, letting out all of her grief and her sadness, her anger. As he struck Pain the realization, he decided to do something good in the end, as he revived everyone that was killed. But the village was still in a wrecked state. It was then the Hidden Stone started to kill Konoha ninjas that were past their borders, as one of them managed to make it back alive. Oniki was still pissed off about what happened, with Naruto threatening to destroy his village. And now that Naruto was gone and Konoha was broken down, he sent 1,000 ninjas. But he was sadly mistaken, thinking that Konoha power was lost, just because of the attack. It was then that Sasuke pulled out his Susanoo, his perfect Susanoo, and trampled upon them like they were nothing. Along with the other ninjas there, they were completely annihilated, the 1,000 ninjas. So from there on, Konoha and the stone has been at war. Danzo wanted to war against the Hidden Stone, seeing what was going on, but Tsunade didn't want to go in a full-fledged war. Danzo thought that she was just so peaceful, she was a coward, but Tsunade was still reloading after the death of Jiraiya. And losing anyone else, it just pained her to think of that. As when she almost lost the entire village, she thought that she was a failure at being a Hokage. Danzo then tried to make a risky move where he tried to place Mito under his control. But something happened. As Sasuke remembered when Naruto locked eyes with him, and both of their eyes glow golden. It seems like Naruto made a connection between him and Mito, as Sasuke was able to sense that she was in danger and got there. Sasuke was able to kill off all the roots that came after Mito, as they informed this to Tsunade. After informing this to Tsunade, Tsunade knew that Danzo would be a threat more than he's worth. And after the obligation of him and the two elders trying to kill the entire Uchiha clan, that it was a mission, Tsunade assigned a task force. The task force was, Sasuke had to be involved, along with Kakashi, and Mito demanded to go. Well, she was one of the most powerful ninjas in the village right now, with her Sage mode. Yes, she was powerful, and with the Kyuubi's chakra nonetheless, able to manipulate it at that extent. As Fu went along with Gurren, as Karin was the one that sealed off the entire area, so that Danzo couldn't leave. As they cut down Danzo in there, it was a hectic battle, but they came out on top. The root ninja that didn't die, their seals went away, and they had pledged to serve Konoha because they knew if they didn't, they would have died. And that is how Sasuke became the commander of the root force. He is in charge of that right now. All of those root agents under his belt. The stone ninjas has been moving and tried to come into Konoha border, but they have been cut down each and every time by either the root agents or the golden blur. That is the nickname that Ino has been given. As most of the people saw was a golden blur, she sliced down her enemies with her golden hair flying all about. Yes, she was a fearsome ninja at the borders to cut down anyone that came in her path. She didn't hold back, she didn't hesitate. She was a stone cold killer. Yes, things have been really different ever since he died, Sasuke thought. Sasuke picked himself up off the bed. As he got dressed, he didn't know what to do. Seeing that one night things escalated, Mito wanted a drink, but she didn't want to drink alone, so Sasuke offered to come with her. Next thing he knew, he woke up in the morning with her, two of them in bed naked. And from that day on, they started to come together to release the stress. But Sasuke wanted something else. He wanted to actually be with her, seeing that he always liked Mito, but he was the one that turned her off back then, because he wanted to face off against his brother before anything. But now, she was the one that was telling him no. She didn't want to be in a relationship or with anyone. She just wanted to release stress. And she told him if he didn't do it with her, she would just go find someone else to do it with. And wanted to be there for her, Sasuke didn't want her to just go out and do it with anyone. So, he took this task upon himself, even though he knew that she was hurting inside. Yet still, she didn't want to stop, no matter the talks, no matter what anyone said to her. She didn't stop at all. If Naruto was still alive, then maybe this could have changed, but it doesn't seem like it's going to. Meanwhile, at a dark cave. So what now, said a voice. The attack of Pain happened 2 months ago. As Madara was still surprised that Pain would betray him like that. But it doesn't matter, soon enough he will be going towards the Hidden Rain to receive the Rinnegan. And by killing Konan, is that the only way for him to get it? Because she has completely abandoned the Akatsuki, and he could see that. It seems her ideal had been changed as well. But right now Konoha was in a strong state despite the village being blown to smithereens some time ago. The Uchiha had the eternal monkey to Sharingan. They had 2 Jinchurikis, and not to mention all of their ninjas are still alive. So it was dangerous for them to attack Konoha right now, and they were low on manpower. All that they really had was Zetsu, and Kisame and him. But it seems like things are gonna have to be kicked up a notch for them to get the other tail pieces. They only had 6. They needed the 7, the 8, and 9. So what now? Said Kisame. It's time we go to war, said Madara. War? Well, that sounds fun, said Kisame. But how are we gonna do that with a small amount of manpower? Follow me, Madara said, as he started to walk down his passageway. Arriving, a stairwell opened up as he walked down there, Kisame following behind him. Kisame eyes narrowed. To think, you had this up your sleeve. Zetsu emerged from the ground. So, it's finally time to begin the plan. Yes. Go and alert Kabuto that things will be starting up soon. Zetsu nodded as he sank back down into the ground. As Zetsu was traveling through the ground, he was thinking to himself the black half. Things have really went into his favor, but things were bad still, because Naruto was still out there. Well, he wasn't so sure. Well, he didn't really know if this Zack killed him or not. But judging from what he saw, this Zack was far stronger than his mother, because Naruto was able to take out the Sage of Six Paths, Hagoromo and Hamura by himself, and those two were able to seal away his mother. And yet this Zack treated Naruto like a rag doll, tossing him around and beating the crap out of him. So it was hard to say that his mother could stand up against them. But she would build her army, and if she could somehow convince Naruto if he was still alive to join her, yes, they will have a chance of winning, and mother will have her freedom, he thought to himself. At least Naruto was now gone, as he wouldn't stand in his way anymore, and they can take Mito and extract the Jinchuriki from her. Yes, his plans was coming along well. Wherever you are, Naruto, I hope you stay there, said Zetsu. Meanwhile, on a distant planet away, 2 women, the both of them were dressed in black pants, as they had on a white kimono that was very loose, tight up at the top but very loose going down, as they had on their pants though, but they had a sash wrapped around their stomach. The both of them had blood all over them, but not normal human blood. The blood was green, Lying around them was at least 100 people. Their skin was blue. There was a man standing right in front of them. He had a pissed off look on his face. You already know what is going on. The worlds are being conquered by the Otsutsukis. Your planet is the next one on the hit list. So it's best you give up now. Or we destroy everything and leave you nothing but a broken of a man and take it anyways. We will still use your people for slaves. So what do you say? One of them asks. Never, the man said. Someone landed right beside him. Sir Lahar, the man said. As Lahar looked over, he was like the Hokage of this entire world when you put it together. This world had one supreme commander, and that was him. Lahar looked over the subordinate. Kenji, did you get it? Kenji nodded. Lahar was a very tall man. He had blue skin. His eyes were weirdly small, and he had a rather large mouth, with a sick grin on it now. He was wearing a brown robe that wrapped around him, but he was wearing pants underneath it, grey pants. As Kenji handed Lahar something, Lahar smiled, looking back over at the two women in front of him. The both of them were Otsutsukis from what he could tell. These fiends, these people have been going around and conquering the other planets. He knew that they would come here. So he had his people work on something that could defend his planet, that could wipe out these foes, these people that think they can rule all. The two women standing over there, one of them, they had the standard Otsutsuki features. But one of them had short white hair that reached down to her neck. Her Byakugan eyes activated, the other one had long white hair. Her Byakugan eyes activated as well. As the both of them looked over at Lahar. You still have fight in you. Do you really think that you can win against us? Look at all your people, they are already falling like flies. Just give up. Lahar break the container as he threw something on the ground. It was then a white slob came out of the container and jumped on the ground. Urza, what is that? As the other girl looked over, I have no idea, but I think we're gonna find out, Urza said, as she was one with short hair. The other girl's name was Rukia. As Rukia looked over, it was then the strange white slob started to grow. It started to grow in size. The both of them watched. The thing grew into a monster right in front of their eyes. The thing had several heads, with a large one in the center that towered over the others. The thing had weird tentacles coming out of its back that were pointed at the end, as they were dripping with a strange venom from it. This is our ultimate creation. You think you people are strong just because you have an army? Sending two people to take over a planet? You think you people are that strong? Well, you're just overconfident and that will get you all killed, said Lahar. Now let's see you stand up against this. The two girls looked at each other before rushing forward to attack this beast. A few minutes later, the both of them were sent sailing as they smashed into a wall. As Rukia looked over, as Urza looked at Rukia. No, said Urza. As Rukia looked at her with a stern look, if you don't call him, we're going to die. Urza shook her head. I can't. Why not, Rukia asked. The bastard cheated on me. What? As Urza looked at her friend. What's with that look? She asked Rukia. Well, you know what kind of guy he was. Are you saying this is my fault? I thought you were supposed to be my friend, said Urza. Well, not really, but you know what kind of guy he is. You know that he would do that kind of stuff. With the way he acts and all. Urza glared at her friend. Well, it doesn't matter, I'm not calling him. We can do this, we can kill that thing. The thing is literally sucking power from the air and building up in his body. Everything we throw at it, the thing shrugs off. What do you think we can do against that? They create that personal for us. And besides, we're not in the top tier. We're not fit to handle something like this. I don't even understand why we were sent on this mission. Who gave you this again? Asked Rukia. It was Momoshiki. He told us that we have to go. Rukia shook her head. Why us though? It clearly fit that we're not suitable for this kind of place. And especially that thing. We had a tough time taking off that army. So what now? We're going to die if you don't call him. Call him! Urza shook her head. No, I won't. As Rukia looked at her. Do you want to die here? No, but... And I don't want to either, said Rukia. So call him! Urza shook her head. Fine. As she went into her pocket and pulled out a strange, round disc. The thing had several symbols on it. As she pressed on some of the symbols that glow. I'll call him, she said. As he looked up ahead. It was then. Lahar smirked to himself as he saw the two girls over there. Thinking that you're so overconfident to take my planet. Well, that's not gonna happen. Sir. He looked towards the left to see one of his another man. Omni, what is it? What if he arrives? That's just a hoax. A legend that they made up to scare us. Sir, but Nizaki is the leader of this entire Otsutsuki's people. And you have heard about the things that he've done. So why do you not believe in this one? Because I don't. There's no way someone can do that. Draxius was a planet full of warriors that could not be crushed so easily. So that is false. Draxius did not fall, said Lahar, as Omni shook his head. But sir, you know it's gone. But not by him alone. There must be something else, Dizak, or his more man must have gone there. Don't worry, Omni, it doesn't matter now. With this thing that we've created, Project X, no one will ever stand in our way. Meanwhile, a distance away, there was a sound going off on a table, as one of those things that Urza had. As it was on a table in a house, the place was very luxurious, as the place was tiled with a golden tile with golden shimmers and a large bed to fit at least 20 people. Giggling could be heard and kissing sound, and not to mention at least 4 ladies were on the ground, as all of them were completely naked. In the center of that all was someone lying down. Before he grunted as he heard the thing ringing. As he went over and reached for it. Picking it up, he tapped it. Hello, he said. I need your help. Who is this, he asked. It's me, asshole. Huh? Me who? As the person grunted on the other side. Don't worry, I'm just messing with you. Of course I know who you are, he said. So, what do you need? We're under attack. What do you mean? Well, we got sent out on a mission this morning to come to this planet, but we underestimated the people here. They have this creation that is whipping our ass. If you don't get here soon, we will die. It's that bad, is it? Yeah, we need your help. Who sent you on this mission? The man asks. I can't talk about that right now, the thing is getting back up. I'll send you the location. Just come here as quick as possible. Fine, I'm coming, he said. As he placed the thing back on the table and picked himself up. As he started to get dressed. Hey, said a voice. As he turned to look at all the girls in bed. 2 of them were still awake while 3 of them was asleep. There was 4 over to the left corner and 5 over to the right. What about us? One of them asked. Oh. Maybe next time, he said. For now I gotta go. You girls know the way out, right? You're just kicking us out like that, one of them asked. Well, you know it's not anything solid, right? We're just sex buddies, he said. With all of us, one of them asked. Well, yeah. So next time you want to screw, you know where to find me. But not today. Kind of tired. And I have to go do something, he said. See ya. And with that he blinked away. One of the girls looked over to the other. They were right, he was a jackass. Yeah, but I just can't get enough of it, the other one said. Yeah, the other one said with a smile. And even though they cursed him, they're still here. As she looked over to the side of the bed. Isn't that right, Trisha, she asked. Shut up, said Trisha. She got up. I said he was a jackass, but he's still good in bed. Well, damn good. Alright, fine. I must admit that, the other one said of the bed. But he's disrespectful and he doesn't really care about our feelings. Does it matter, Trisha asked. He is royalty after all. A distance away, Urza and Rukia was smashed into the wall and a tentacle wrapped around their stomach. They were sent throwing violently as they smashed into the side of a large castle. As Lahar stepped forward, now you see, ladies, if one of these things are so powerful to handle you two, and you two are from that famed Otsutsuki clan, when I unleash a dozen of them on your planet, they would rip through everyone there. Rukia laughed. What's so funny? Asked Lahar. Well, you're stupid. Because something that you don't understand. Compared to some of the other Otsutsukis, we are weak. Especially to the royals, we're extremely weak. So yeah, don't get your hopes up. And if you do that, they will just come here and completely annihilate your planet. It doesn't matter what you say, said Lahar. The both of you will still die here. As the massive beast started to charge forward again, its other heads glaring, releasing venom dripping to the ground as the thing jumped forward. But a white blur passed all of them. The feet of the white blur smashed into the beast's head, stopping it right in its tracks. He crunched down, right on the beast's head, as he had a hood over his head, as the thing was flowing behind him. Whoa, you're one ugly shit, aren't you? He said. He then raised the other foot in the air. With one drop kick, the thing was sent flying underground. As the thing traveled so far, there was a loud boom when it came to a stop. Lahar was stunned to see someone just put down his creature like that, like it was nothing. The man didn't even pay him any mind. As he walked over to two girls, he reached out his hand. Rukia took one, but Urza hesitated. Come on, he said. Just accept the gesture. She slapped away his hand and she picked up herself. You bastard. I shouldn't even have called you, but if you didn't, you would have died. Thanks for making her call in me, Rukia, said Naruto. Oh, my pleasure, said Rukia, looking down a bit. As Urza punched Rukia on the shoulder. Don't let his charms get to you. He's a selfish bastard. Oh, come on. I never said that things were that way between us. We were just friends. At least that I thought it was. You know we weren't friends. Alright, I have to admit that. You were the one that get me through things when I lost my memory. So I had to thank you for that, but yeah, the sex was good, but I didn't think that we were committed or married or anything like that. So me going to another girl, that's not my fault. It kinda isn't, said Rukia. Rukia, said Urza, glaring at her friend. Do not let his charms get to you. He knows how to twist his words and make people believe him. Why are you going with him? You're my friend. Screw off and don't talk to her. Well, your friend understands what I'm going through. You see, she didn't even give me a chance to explain. She just kicked me out. And don't even want to see my face anymore. Even telling me to jump on my own ass and die. What kind of thing is that? The man said. Yeah, how can you be this harsh to him? Said Rukia. As the man placed his head on Rukia's shoulder. I know, she's so harsh, he said. As she started to rub his long hair going down. I'm so sorry, she said. Look what you've done, you made him cry. As Urza stood there with a shocked expression on her face. He's messing with you. Are you really falling for this? As Rukia looked at her. He's really sad. You can't be that upset about anything. He didn't really think that the both of you were together for marriage or anything like that. It wasn't really made official, was it? Well, it wasn't, but it doesn't matter. Stop comforting him. As she slapped away Rukia's hand. As the man picked himself up. Alright, fine. I guess I messed up. You were the one that told me what happened when I lost my memory and all that, so yeah, I guess you were good to me, but I have repaid you in kind, haven't I? To think about it, you're the only one that I let talk to me this way, or even hit me. As Rukia looked at her friend, knowing that was true, no one else could speak to him in that disrespectful tone, or even boss him around. He would simply snap their necks. He was funny and kind some of the time, but when he gets serious, he was like a living hell break loose. Behind them, Lahar was watching the shocked expression on his face. These people are talking like they aren't in the midst of a war, like they aren't fighting for their lives right now. Kenji then came back. Sir, I'll end him for you. As Kenji had a long staff in his hand. The thing had a pointed spear at the end. As he held on to it tight, this thing started to hum and vibrate as electric pulse went through it. He then pulled back his hand, head straight for his head, said Lahar, as Kenji thrust the staff. Meanwhile, the man was talking, his back turned. You know they're trying to kill you, right? Said Rukia. Of course I know, the man said. You wouldn't even warn me, Urza. Why, hate me that much, a man asks. Yeah, I do. He then reached around to Kenji, and Lahar's shock, he simply grabbed the staff out of mid-air. The currents not even affecting him, as he snapped it like a twig and threw it aside. He then turned. Let me deal with this, he said, as he turned to face Kenji and Lahar, slowly removing the hood off his head. Kenji stepped back. His eyes went wide. The other subordinate was on the ground. He could tell that was him. As Lahar looked at him, no, those eyes. Who are you, Lahar asks. Well, judging from your guy's expression, I can tell that you already know who I am, so why ask? It can't be. Are you? Yes. The name's Naruto. Naruto the Destroyer. Standing there in all of his glory was Naruto. His long white hair going down into his back as he threw away the coat that he was wearing. He was wearing a white shirt under that. It had commas going down on the left and right side, going all around the back with a swirl in the center, leaving his bare chest shown open, as it seemed like he has gotten ripped over time. He had a well-placed firm six-pack. He had on black pants, and he had on dark boots. As his golden eyes could be seen showing through the darkness, looking at the two members. Those eyes. No. The only Otsutsuki to have golden eyes like that. No. You can't be real, you are a myth, said Lahar. A myth? The planet, Lahar said, stuttering. You. Oh yes. Well, that was one of my accomplishments. To think. There was a lot of strong warriors there. But they'd all deserve to die because they stained my cloak, said Naruto. They stained your cloak, said Kenji. Yeah, one of them actually spilled blood on it. So I had to kill them all. But you... That planet was... hailed as the strongest. Well, they hadn't met the Otsutsukis yet, so they called themselves the strongest. But it was simply me that went there. That's not possible. How can you take on all of them by yourself? Simple. As Naruto stepped forward, when you possess power like me, you have no need to fear. You have no one to stand in your way. No one to look down upon you. You're the one looking down on people. Because when you are me, you can call yourself a god. Because that is what you are. Spread out his hand, his entire body erupted in a golden light. It seems you have caused my friends here trouble. How about you apologize? What? Kenji said, as Lahar was shaking in fear to think that this myth was a reality. Well, the planets that he hadn't went to thought that it was a myth. But this man, Naruto the Destroyer, has went to planets after planets with strong military forces and completely eradicated them by himself. He doesn't have a team, he doesn't have an army. He was a one-man army, the Destroyer, who enjoyed wreaking havoc, pain and suffering, and causing a lot of death. I said I apologize. Naruto raised his hand and lowered it. The two men were smashed into the ground with terrible force. Their nose exploded with blood. It was then that the ground started to shake, as a massive creature that Naruto kicked in the earth exploded out of it a second ago. As his mouth was wide open, the giant head won, as he swallowed Naruto whole. Rukia blinked twice. Urza blinked as well. Did he just eat him? Rukia asked. I believe so, said Urza. That can't kill him, right? Said Rukia. Well, seeing that he went on a planet filled with monsters, taller than buildings like that, with destructive capability and powers, and he was able to come back without a single scratch, Do you really think that that can kill him? Well, I guess you're right, said Rukia, but... It was then the beast started howling in pain as one of his legs exploded off before a feet exploded out of his gut and stomped into the ground, stopping him in his path. It was then his entire body started to shake before his body was forced apart. An explosion blew the beast all around. As Rukia and Urza had to move away, as guts, blood, everything was splattered everywhere. This strange white sludge. Oh man, Naruto said, as he looked over. As Lahar and his subordinate just picked up themselves. You see, I destroyed the entire planet because they stained my cloak. Now what do I have to do about you? You can't destroy the planet, said Urza. Why is that? Naruto asked. We were sent here to accomplish a mission. We weren't supposed to call you. I apologize for calling you for that, so just leave now. We have it under control. Thanks for your assistance. Wait, who sent you to this planet? Naruto asked. Urza looked down. Who sent you to this planet? Naruto asked. As Naruto looked over at Rukia, who sent you? It was... As she stuttered. Why are you afraid to tell me who sent you? Because I don't want to cause any problem for you and myself. We were too weak to handle this, said Urza. So we had to call you. But this shouldn't be your fault. So just leave it alone, okay? Well, I've told you. You were the one that was there for me when I didn't have my memories. When I had no clue what was going on and having a mental breakdown. So, I will not leave you out in the run like this. This was beyond your power level to handle. I'm not calling you guys weak. But that thing over there, it was planned and created for you. So the person who sent you here, they always have knowledge on the planets. So tell me, who sent you? It was Momoshiki, Urza said. He told us to go here. I'm feeling rather conflicted now. Why? Urza asks. Well, I'm feeling angry. You see, I was surprised when I got the call from you too. Because you weren't supposed to be out here. This was Momoshiki's job. But like the lazy ass he is, thinking that he's royal, although he's nothing but a whiny, insignificant brat who always thinks that he's special for no good reason. So he decided to send you two on a mission that would probably have gotten you killed. Naruto stepped forward. It doesn't matter if you hate me right now for what I did. I told you, I would never leave you out in the dust. And you being our friend Rukia, and seeing that you were always nice to me, always smiling and greeting me respectfully. You don't deserve to die as well. But you can't just kill Momoshiki like that, said Rukia. Naruto simply chuckled. If I wished to, I would. But he's still useful. He's a heavy hitter, still needed for some things. But this was supposed to be his mission. Pushing it off on you too like that. As Naruto shook his head, I'll just have to deal with it when I get back. As he picked up a stone, Kenji got up to his feet. As he wiped away the blood from his mouth and his nose. Hey! Naruto then thrust the stone as it had a golden energy on it. Before Kenji could even move, the stone teared through his skull. As his body dropped down to the ground, dead and lifeless, Lahar's eyes went wide. Naruto stepped forward as Lahar collapsed on his knees. Forfeit your planet now. Your planet will be under the rulership of the Otsutsukis. As Lahar was shaken, as Naruto grabbed the man by his face. Answer my question. Say, I do. Forfeit my planet to you. Or I'll kill every single person here and burn this place down to the ground. And then I'll drop a meteor right in the center of your planet, destroying it. So I'm gonna count to 5. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I concede, Lahar said. Don't destroy my planet. I still have people here, my family. We will fall in line under the Otsutsuki. Please, he said. Naruto released the man as the man dropped that thud. More like it. We will be coming back here in a few days. And we will have a talk. Well, not me. Representatives of mine. And if you try anything, I'll kill every single person here without batting an eye. Remember that, okay? as he patted Lahar in the head. He then turned. Come on ladies, let's go. As they headed off. Moments later, Kinshiki and Momoshiki was walking. The planet that they were on that belonged to the Otsutsukis were beautiful. It was heavily financial, seeing that they take resources and every other thing from the planets that they conquered. It was the most beautiful planet. Castles were everywhere, but the largest castle was in the dead center up on the cliff. That is where the nobles live. Well, that is what they're called. As Momoshiki lived there as well, but not on the top floor, where the real people who are in charge of this planet talk lives. He doesn't live on that top floor. He lives 2 floors below that. Despite being somewhat of a royal, he never had the full status. Meanwhile, at the top floor of the castle, walking towards his brother's room, the Zack shook his head. All-nighter again, he said. Girls were spread out everywhere on the floor and on the bed. As he simply walked out of the room, he then stopped. Sorry, he said, as someone came and gave him a bow. Yes, my lord. Tell Naruto when he gets back, so I want to speak to him. Yes, my lord, she said as she walked off. Some moments later, Momoshiki was just standing with Kinshiki. He was still angry about the day that boy came here. The 50 soldiers that they brought had died, so he and Kinshiki was the only one that knew what happened on that planet. He shook his head as he walked away. A distance away, Ishiki and Amara were sitting down. It has been some time now. The both of them weren't saying anything. They thought that they would have been found and killed a long time ago. But it seems like Naruto did them a favor by completely erasing the part of his memory where he met them, so they wouldn't get caught up in all of this. As Ishiki looked over, it's been a long time now, and we still haven't done anything yet. I know, but what can we do? If we go to him now, he will attack us, or maybe even try to kill us. It will be hard to regain his memory in one single point. And despite how strong the both of us are, there is no way we can stand up to his might. Yeah, I understand, but... So what are we gonna do? Just leave him this way? No. We have to find a way to get him back to Earth. I believe the only way that he can regain his memory is by his sister. The only one that he loved to the extent which he would never harm. But how are we gonna do that? That place is off limit to everyone. And if we leave this planet towards Earth, and if we somehow got caught by any of the other members, there wouldn't be any trial, any talking. The both of us will just be executed, and then no one will be able to do anything. I know, said Amara. Just give me time. Don't worry, I will come up with a plan. I will find a way to get the old Naruto back. And this time, he won't fail. Meanwhile, Momoshiki looked up as he saw Naruto, along with the 2 girls that he sent to take care of the planet. He knew that that planet was knowing of their demise. Seeing that a sister planet near to them had been taken over, they probably knew. So they were probably planning for anything. But those girls weren't really important, so if they died, they died. As he looked over, despite hating this man, he still put on a small smile. Ah, it's good to see you, Naruto-sama, he said. It's But he couldn't get to finish that sentence as he was backhanded straight down to the ground, hitting it hard. Kinshiki stood there in shock as Momoshiki lifted up his head as a feet smashed into his head as it drove right into the ground. Kinshiki then stepped forward as Naruto turned his gaze towards him. Move and you die, he said. Kinshiki froze where he stood. Now, Momoshiki, can you explain to me why Urza and Rukia were sent to that planet? They know of our involvement, so they had to be planning for us to be coming there. It was your mission to take care of them, but you pawned off these 2. I'm not doubting their strength or anything, but they weren't ready for something like that. So can you explain to me why they almost died? Sir, they serve us. They're not that important. Naruto smacked him across the face, making him drop once more. How many times do I have to tell you? You are not in charge here. Passing off something that was given to you. Next time you do something like this, I'll kill you. There will be no talking. As he then turned towards Kinshiki. And get your lapdog under control. Step towards me again, and I'll snap your neck without thinking, Naruto said. Let's go, ladies, he says. He walked off like nothing happened. As the people around simply start to walk off again. As Momoshiki felt his honor, his pride, just slap at that. To feel so humiliated, so shameful. Rage, unending rage started to build inside of him. He was going to get his revenge. He was not going to let this stand. He had to do something. He couldn't be disrespected like this. He must find a way. For him to regain his honor, Naruto, the so-called destroyer, has to die. As Kinshiki gave him a hand as he got back up, wiping away the blood across his mouth. But that was going to be hard. He doesn't have the power or what it takes to kill him right now. That made a foolish decision. To allow him to get stronger. There is no telling how strong he has gotten since he was on Earth. It has been quite some time now. As he watched Naruto walk away with the two girls. As he wondered how powerful has he gotten. This Zack has not been really doing anything. At first, he trained his body to become stronger. And also went through some, well, not good procedures to become stronger than Naruto. So when going to Earth, Naruto was the match for him. But he had become lax over time. And that boy has been doing things that are scary. Things that have the entire universe thinking that he's a myth. That he's some kind of boogeyman. A boogeyman that is going through the universe, scaring people. But it doesn't matter. He will find a way to break him and end his life, one way or another. But guys, I'll be ending this episode right here. You guys can go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance. And go ahead and enjoy that, guys. I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto got his memories sealed away, so go ahead and enjoy it as well. I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto learned the clone secret in the beginning, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. But for now, I'm out. See you guys soon. Peace.